Hello everyone, this is Dan Gramza and welcome to dangramza.com Market Studies for Monday, November 11th. Wow, what a week, huh? Interesting week. And if you haven't seen these videos before, as I know there's a number of new viewers of these videos, we're looking at a daily chart. It's in a candle format. The concept is a swing trade. These are not buy and sell recommendations, but just ideas that I'd like to share with you. A green line means it's a buy level. A red line means it's a sell level. A dashed line means it's something that happened earlier in the week. And you can go back over 10 years at dangramza.com and you would see how these lines have changed. So, for example, this week, as this market moved, you would see that red line moving up to try to protect the position from that buy level as an example. Now, let's talk about what's happening. A decent close for the end of the week, yes. We're seeing a positive reaction to the presidential election. And what you're seeing here when I see a market move like that, that's an event day. It's what this market is saying is, hey, you know the presidential election, it's worth this much in the S&P. That's what it says. And typically after that type of day, even though the Fed did decrease Fed funds rate, you don't look for another day like this day. So event days have a tendency not to follow one right after another. Plus, you really don't want to go vertical in a market. Very difficult to sustain that type of momentum. That being said, and we have a positive close here, that's great going into the weekend, but we do see a loss of momentum. So you want to be cautious in this market if you're on the long side. Now, let's talk about the NASDAQ. We're seeing something very similar, and I forgot to tell you, just as a reference, the difference between that sell line to the buy line here in the S&P is $2,750 a contract. In the NASDAQ market, the difference between that sell and buy level is $3,380 a contract. Again, I'm looking for a sideways move in these markets. The Dow closed positive. It's hanging right in there. The Russell, the small to mid cap stocks, they're also hanging right in there. It does imply follow through, although that is a neutral zone trade. Over in the euro, the difference between the sell and buy level there is $287.50, and it's a market that continues lower as the dollar continues stronger. And we're going to see the impact of a stronger dollar in other markets. Here in the Swissy, the dollar remains stronger there. Oh, the dollar difference between these red and green dash lines there is $400 a contract. And when we get to Mr. Yen, Japanese yen makes an attempt at a rally, so it's getting stronger against the dollar. The issue is that sustainable? So be very cautious there if you're on the long side. The difference between this buy to sell level is $187.50 a contract. And our friend, the Aussie dollar, we're seeing the U.S. dollar remaining strong against the Aussie dollar. As fast as we go up, we came right back down. The difference between the buy and sell level in that market is $200 a contract, and the most recent difference between this buy and sell level is $100 a contract. Well, what about the British pound? It's kind of in the same boat. The dollar remains strong. This is more of a neutral zone trade. It implies an inside day for Monday. Difference between the buy and sell level, $212.50. If we look at the Canadian dollars, the loonie, well, it's a bit weaker, just like all these other currencies. So the dollar is stronger across the board, except not exactly the same for Mr. Yen. Yen was a little bit stronger, but Canadian dollar looking for further weakness in this market. Dollar difference between the buy and sell level here, $120 a contract. Let's see what's happening in Bitcoin. Difference between the sell to buy level in that market, $10,550 a contract. Lost momentum, catching its breath. Look for a sideways to higher move on Monday. 10-year notes. So we look at the yield curve. What we're seeing is the yield got stronger towards the end of that session. Not a good sign for continuation. Wouldn't be surprised to see that cool off a bit. Same thing here for the bond market for 30-year bonds. Difference between the sell and buy level there is $562.50. What do we look for here? An inside day on Monday. Gold. Now look how gold fell out of bed. That one of the reasons is that the dollar got stronger. And we're looking at a lot of markets that are priced in dollars. So that way a market compensates for the stronger dollar. Typically, commodities get weaker, and that's what we saw here in gold. On Friday, the buyers maintained control. Ooh, doesn't look like it, so look for weakness on Monday. Same thing here in the silver market, copper market. Two things. One, it's dollar based. That's an issue like we just talked about. And China is not really here yet economically to support increase in demand for that market. The difference here between this buy and sell level is $2,000 a contract. The difference between the buy and sell level here is $500 a contract. Now, let's move on and see about crude oil. Well, crude, here's a market that did get weaker. Remember, stronger dollar has an impact here as well. Dollar difference between the buy and sell level, $2,670 a contract. Nat gas, difference between the buy and sell level, or I should say sell to buy level there in that market is $600 a contract. Sideways move is what I'm looking for. Soybeans, we're getting some positive news that yields may be coming off a bit. Look for an inside day. Oh, dollar difference down here on the bottom. That difference is $150 a contract. In corn, this difference in that market is it's 250 in beans. It's $150 here. I look for an inside day in that market. Mr. Wheat, look for a sideways move there as well. And that concludes today's market studies. Thank you for being with me. Look forward to being with you again on Monday. Have a wonderful weekend and take care.